Mexico in recent years has become one of the most dangerous places in the world for news reporting, especially given its backdrop of an ever-violent, ongoing drug war.
Usually a country with the death rate of journalists that we have here would be a country at war or in civil war. In Mexico we are not at war, but we are in a type of civil war.
Now, Mexican journalists want their government to guarantee them greater security, especially in those parts of the country where drug violence is raging. Places like Reynosa on the U.S.-Mexico border, where many journalists have simply stopped covering the news.
This is one of several organized marches taking place simultaneously all across Mexico. The journalists in this march tell Al Jazeera they feel threats coming from organized crime, especially in those areas of the country where drug violence is raging. But they're also worried about violence coming from official sources.
But they also told us they're threatened by the conduct of government security forces as well. One recent incident happened in the border city of Nuevo Laredo. Journalists showed up at the scene of a shootout. Then soldiers stepped in, shoving some of the journalists to the ground. Scenes that are increasingly common in a country where soldiers and federal police are not trained to protect the free speech rights of news media workers.
The
majority of the offences against journalists are committed by the authorities. The difference is the grade of violence. If they take their camera off you or if they push you in a demonstration, it's not the same as being kidnapped or killed.
Since President Felipe Calderón took office in 2006, 30 journalists have been killed, according to the New York-based Committee to Protect Journalists. Officials blame those deaths on drug-related violence. 11 others remain missing. Later, 3 men were arrested and the kidnapped reporters were freed by Mexican security forces. In another recent incident, drug traffickers kidnapped 4 journalists in the Mexican state of Durango, after which they demanded that media outlets broadcast videos made by drug cartels. The incident has left many Mexican journalists fearing that they risk becoming bargaining chips by desperate organized crime syndicates looking to send messages to rival gangs or the authorities. Saturday's rally ended on the front steps of the powerful Interior Ministry, which is in charge of coordinating security across the country. For its part, the government says its special prosecutor for crimes against journalists has been tracking down cases. But critics in the crowd argue that since 2006, the government has only solved 3 such crimes. Frank Contreras, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.